Hi, I'm Chris from airwindows, and I have something interesting to show you in the realm of freebies. It's a little update to a plugin called Pressure, and I'm also, since I have the opportunity of doing a video at the moment, going to show you some of how these crazy controls work. Firstly, Pressure is a compressor plugin, and here is our original version of it. Turn it on. Now, that's a little extreme. Pressure has very high settings, and you can control them with speed, but I've got it set up so that you can really hear what it does. Now, I will show you that one more time, and then I'll show you Pressure 3. Pressure 3 is free. Now, the reason I don't have Pressure 2 up there is because I have had a version of Pressure 2, and I was doing things with it that involved anti-aliasing and stuff. It didn't necessarily sound better. Oh, just a moment. Here is one of the kitties that you'll be helping to feed by buying the other airwindows plugins that are not freebies. Say hello. No? So, it's going to be slightly distracting, but don't let that bother you. There's Pressure, and here we have Pressure 3. Now what's going on here is this is exactly the same as the original Pressure. It doesn't have the anti-aliasing stuff that Pressure 2 had, because the whole Purist series is experimenting with running simpler algorithms that degrade the sound less by having less mathematical functions involved. But Pressure 3 is 80-bit and has the noise shaping to the 32-bit bus that my recent plugins do. So it's a complete upgrade on the tonal qualities of Pressure while keeping the original algorithm that people liked a lot. Now what these functions do is Pressure is the amount of compression, obviously. It has a certain amount of volume compensation. Speed shows you how quickly both the attack and the release will work. For instance, I can exaggerate it, make it very fast. You can hear it easier by pushing the pressure up. You can hear that's very distorted. And then as I slow it down, slow it way down until you're still getting a certain amount of attack going on. But notice you're still getting an exaggerated effect out of it. This is not a model of any particular compressor, this is just a weird algorithm that I came up with. Now you may well ask, what is mewiness? Because that mewiness is the cat that was on my lap, but mewiness in this plugin is this control. That was a pretty exaggerated compression reverb effect right there. Mewiness has to do with the very mew type behavior. At 0, it shouldn't have any of the very mew, which is variable ratio. And as you increase it, it starts clamping down on stuff harder and harder as the compression level increases. You'll notice it has a negative setting. That's because it can sort of anti-clamp down on things, let through peaks more easily. I have never actually used this range as much, although I did program it in to make it work. And we'll show you what that sounds like a little bit now. We'll use it on a very high setting so you can plainly hear what it's doing. You can hear it's clamping down harder. And then we pull it back. We still have compression going on. And then we'll lower this muiness to negative numbers. What this should be doing is sort of like New York compression. It's like parallel compression a little tiny bit. That's letting through a little more attack. You're still getting a kind of compressed effect, but it's letting through a lot more attack. We can probably sculpt that with speed. So this kind of stuff can give you a lot of options for fooling around with the compression. We can do the opposite of going right to the maximum vary mu, and then slow it right down so that it's gentler. And that's another way to get attack. Pull that back again. There are a lot of things you can do with this, but as I said before, this is pressure. Pressure is a freebie, so I don't need to show you beyond just telling you what things like this muiness control did. All you got to do is download it and try it out for yourself. Play with the controls to your heart's content and have fun with it. With my blessing, because I put out the freebies so that people have stuff they can get even if they can't afford to buy the 4-pay plugins. It's my job to keep making the 4-pay plugins that people will still want to buy, but I don't hold back on the freebies. So here is yet another one of the freebies set up to be good. Thanks. Talk to you later.